Hello everyone, welcome to the class today. So we're looking at our last week at the theme of tapas, and for this one we're going to be looking at a challenging posture, which is going to be side plank pose. So we're going to be using some of the postures that we've been looking at over the weeks, and ones that are going to start to strengthen up more the core, ones that are going to work the hips, a little bit of work into the shoulders and the wrists. And it's nice sometimes having a go at a pose that is a little bit more challenging, as we can see all the steps that are needed to build up poses and knowing patience as well. And that is a lot what tapas is. Tapas is about building up stuff, building up discipline. So we'll find that all through our practice today. So for today, if you have got a belt or something that works as a belt, if you could grab that, and a brick or anything that you might find useful for your practice, put it all to the side, and then we'll start off lying down. So take your time just to come down to the floor. And spend a moment just first of all allowing the legs to stay bent. And just see if you can encourage the back to just be really nice and supported. Then allow yourself just to be able to relax the head and the neck a bit more. Just slightly lift up your head. Take your thumbs around the neck, allowing yourself to lengthen out the neck, and then placing the head down to the floor and allowing the arms to rest down by the sides. And then if it still feels all right for the back, you can either keep the legs bent, or if it's all right, let your legs lengthen away. And take a moment just to check in, tune in with how you're feeling today. Start to have that scan slowly around the body, starting from the top, starting from the crown of the head. Just slowly guiding your attention down the body. Just making this just a simple observation. Don't let any judgment come in. It's just being aware of what's going on for you right now, as every time that you practice yoga it might feel very different. So all the way down to the legs and the feet and the ankles. Then really relax your shoulders, let your hips relax, let your back of the head feel nice and weighted on the earth. Just start to be aware of your breath. Just start to be noticing any movement, any experience, any sensation of the breath that you're feeling. And it might be something very, very small, or just the sensation of it. And then let one hand come to the belly, one hand to the centre of the chest. Take a moment to just let everything just soften and relax. And then just start again to notice on the rise and fall of the breath. Feeling maybe that movement into the hands with either the chest or the belly. And then breathing in, follow that breath from the bottom hand to the top hand. Breathing out, softening from the bottom hand to the top hands. Breathing in from the bottom hand to the top hand. Softening from the belly to the top hand. Just do it in your own time, just feeling that space that you're creating with the breath. Start to just feel this movement of allowing your lungs to gently start to work and open from here. Last breath. And then slowly release. Just stretch the arms and have a nice stretch, moving maybe the fingers, giving the toes a wriggle. Maybe moving the wrists, the ankles, having a bit of a move from side to side. And then bending the knees. Keep the arms down by the sides of the body first as you draw your knees in towards you. And then let your arms come round, hugging your knees into the chest. Maybe taking a little bit of a rock from side to side from here. And then a few movements with your knees circling, so you can have your hands cupping the knees. Just start to circle in one direction first of all, and then circling in the other direction from here. And then open out the knees, do a few nice hip circling. And then in the other direction. And then any direction that feels good, just really try and just have a move to see what feels good from here. So now there's no right, there's no wrong, just feeling your own movement. Hugging the knees in towards the chest. It's good, we're going to lift up the head as we breathe out. Just hold it there for a moment. And then releasing the head back down, inhale. As we breathe out, draw the navel in, lift the head. And slowly release the head back down. Do one more, breathing out, lifting the head. And slowly lower back down. Let your feet come to the floor. You're going to drop your knees out to the side, pressing gently into the soles of the feet. You're going to allow your arms to extend behind you. You can cross the thumbs. Just taking a moment to just get a little stretch from here. And feel that the breath starts to feel into the lungs. It creates a bit of space from any tightness that you might have felt around your chest, the heart centre. Then release the arms. Just cactus the arms from here. Just allowing the back of the hands to come to the floor. Take a moment maybe to think about the movement of your shoulder blades. So just gently releasing in towards the earth. And then we're going to take our hands behind the head, interlocking the fingers. Maybe just allowing your thumbs to just release down by the sides of the neck. Take your head back down from here. Inhale as you breathe out. Draw into the navel as we lift the head up. And then slowly inhale, come back down. We'll do that 3 more times. Breathing out, lifting the head. Inhale, slowly come back down. 2 more times. Breathing out, lift the head. Slowly come back down. Breathing out, lifting the head and chest. Slowly come back down. I think there's one more to do. So breathing out, lifting the head. And then slowly come back down. You can release, take your feet back to the floor. Take your feet as wide as a mat. You can cactus the arms again. Or you can take the arms to a T shape. You're going to drop your knees to the right. Allow your head to slowly turn towards the left. And then come back with the head and the knees. So you breathe out, knees to the left, head to the right. And back to the centre. We'll go one more each side. Knees to the right, head to the left. A couple of breaths in this side. Inhale, in back to the centre, breathing out. Last time, knees to the left, head to the right. Really nice release for the back. And then coming back to the centre from here. If you've got a brick or something that works as a brick, just allow yourself to grab that, actually a block, the smaller one. If you've got that brick, will still work. You're going to take your brick and take it in between the thighs from here. And then you're going to walk your feet in. We're going to do a couple of rounds of our not cat stretches, bridge. So arms down by the sides of the body, press into the feet. Inhale, lift it up. So you just feel that brick where it is as you gently feel those muscles engaging in the quads. And then slowly lower back down. Come up 2 more times. Inhale, lifting up, holding it there for a few breaths. And then slowly come back down. Last one, lifting up, hold it for a few extra breaths. If you want to, you can raise the arms. It can either just be reaching the arms up or sending the arms back, maybe back of the hands reach the floor. Just feeling maybe how that feels. If it's too intense at all ever for the back, then just release the brick and you can go wide, that's fine. And releasing yourself, come down, let your spine come down to the floor. Just for a moment, brick to the sides, hug the knees in. Just let your back have a nice press in towards the earth. And then coming back, brick in between the legs again. Going to lift the legs this time, so position the brick accordingly. And then what we're going to do from here is you're going to focus on, so roughly what you want is your feet, that you can just roughly see the toes. You don't want them too high lifted, you don't want them too far down. Roughly a little bit higher than straight. And you're going to focus on drawing in with that navel. And this might be enough, just drawing it in for a bit of strength and then softening and releasing. On the next bit be to draw the navel in and then allowing ourselves to lift up with the arms and taking a few breaths from here. You don't ever want to strain the head. If you're ever feeling it on the head, neck or back, just come down lower. If you're feeling it in these muscles here, front of the body, that is good. That's where you want to feel. And then slowly lower back down, feet to the floor. You can keep the brick in if it feels okay. And just press up again into your bridge posture. Keep the arms down and just hold it there. Give the belly a nice chance to open up and relax. And then slowly coming all the way back down. We'll do one more round of that core work. So allowing the legs again to come to that position. Toes roughly a tiny bit high so you can see. Drawing in with the navel, that might be enough. Working it here towards a little bit of engagement. Or drawing in the core, you can lift up. You can reach the arms up. And just take a few really nice breaths from here. And then slowly releasing. We'll do one more of the bridge just to stretch out the belly. So lifting up again, give the belly a nice chance to open up and soften and feel that space again. And as we open up, you might have an awareness into the heart centre as the energy moves from the navel to the heart centre. And then soften, release. You can move your brick. Just take a nice twist from here. This time you can lift the legs at a right angle or you can take the feet to the floor. And we're going to drop your knees to the right side. Head turns to the left. And just focus on your breath while you're here. So any time that we focus on a little bit of engagement around the core, it brings a sense of strength, physical strength, but also that also goes into mental strength as well. Come back to the centre. You can adjust the hips if you need so. And then we'll drop the knees to the left. Head can turn towards the right. Just pause there for a few breaths. And then slowly coming back from here. And then just drop your knees to one side and allow yourself to come all the way up to a seated position. And just move everything you don't need for the moment out to the side. You're going to allow yourself just to sit up nice and tall. Either cross legs or you can allow the legs to lengthen. And you're going to interlock your fingers from here, index finger pressing and you're pressing in, your thumbs crossing. And take a moment as we lift up. Stay rooted, thinking about your centre that keeps us strong. And thinking about from having a strong centre, we allow an awareness, a calmness to move into the heart centre. So you're going to stay rooted, do a couple of side bend stretches. Inhale, as you breathe out, side bend stretch to the right side. If it's too much for the back, you can always release your hands on the hip or hand to the floor is fine. Coming back to the centre, inhale as you breathe out over to the left side. Just focus a couple of breaths here. One more time, inhale to the centre, breathing out to the right side. And then inhale, coming back, breathing out over towards that left side. And then coming all the way back. Release the hands, let your hands just rest for a moment, palms facing up, shoulders nice and relaxed. With the palms facing up, anytime palms face up, it gives us a feel of drawing in energy and feeling a little bit more open. Just draw that in a minute as you draw in with the breath. And then release your legs if you need to, or you can stay cross-legged. You're going to interlock fingers. You're going to allow yourself to press your palms away from you. And as you do so, draw the navel in. And then inhale, coming back. As you breathe out, you're going to draw your palms down and slowly guide your hands back. You're going to take an inhale from here. And as you breathe out, palms face forward, drawing in with the navel. As you inhale, lifting up. As you breathe out, palms face towards you, drawing your hands down. Take an inhale, you can have your palms facing towards the front of the body as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, press your palms out to the front, draw the navel in. As you inhale, lifting up again from here. As you breathe out, bends in the arms. You're going to allow yourself to draw your hands so they face in, allowing yourself to draw down. Palms face towards you as you inhale. And then just allowing yourself to continue to breathe, bring your palms together from here. Allow the legs to have a nice stretch out. Give them a little release if you need to. Legs are going to stay straight. We're just going to separate the feet slightly from here. We'll do a nice movement that's going to help to release into the lower back, get a nice bit of opening into the shoulders. So we have been over the last few weeks or so, been looking at eagle posture. So we're just going to do the arms for this. So let the arms lift out. Going to cross your right arm under the left and either crossing it here, take back of the hands together, or if you can do another wrap as well, you can go for that one. And this might be enough staying here, or you can start to slowly go forward, only to the point where it feels comfortable on the back to do so. So any back issue people, come up a lot higher, don't go forward. And this forward fold as well, a nice feeling that you compress as well into the front of the body, so good for the digestive system. And then lifting up, coming up, release the hands. Just take a moment to cactus the arms. Bring them out to the front. Then we'll go the opposite side, left under right. And either finding that cross or back of the hands or wriggle them further. You can take the palms. And we can stay lifted, absolutely fine. Or start to go forward slightly. It might be a small bit. If you haven't got any back issues, feel free just to see where this pose takes you today. And send your breath, send your energy to the back of the body, around the back of the heart, around the shoulder blades. And then nice and slowly lifting up, release the hands. Take a moment to cactus the arms, shoulders nice and relaxed. And release the arms, bending the legs, and we'll come over onto the all fours. So let the hands have a nice spread from here. Do a couple of rounds of cat stretches. So inhale, let your tailbone lift, front of the body and your head lift. And as you breathe out, round over, draw into the navel, gaze back through the legs. Inhale, making sure the head is that last thing to lift. Exhale, finding it come from the base of the spine, then lower, and then rounding over. One more inhale to lift. Exhale to lower down, round down. All the way back to the all fours. Take a few breaths, sinking back into child's pose. Keep the arms out in front for this one. You can get that gentle stretch by coming onto the fingers, walking them a little bit forward. And then lifting up the head, start to walk your hands over towards the right side. Try to bring some weight back into the sit bones, either ears in line with your arms, or lower your head completely down to the floor. You might even just creep your left fingers forward slightly. Lifting up, come back to the centre and walking hands over towards that left side. Lower the head or keep your ears in line with the arms. You might think about the right side this time, maybe just stretching a little bit more with that right hand. And then coming back to the centre, nice spread hands. Tucking the toes under, lifting up, pressing back into our downward dog. And take a moment just to bend the legs and bring some weight back and get a really nice opening into your back. And then if it's an option, let yourself bring your heels down a little bit more. Bring weight down and get a nice stretch into the back of the legs. You're going to bend your legs slowly, come back down to the floor from here. Let me just sort out my hair as it's all in my face from here. Nice spread hands. You're going to have your hands pressed down. We're going to stretch your right leg out. Give it a good stretch. And then bend in that leg. If it's an option, you're going to turn your right hip, so you open the knee out to the side. So you're going to come back to the centre. And again, open that knee out to the side. You can look if it feels okay. Come back to the centre, knee down. And then opening that right knee out to the side. And then coming all the way back down. We'll do the same on the other side. Just start off stretching that left leg first. And then we'll bend that left leg. And then opening that left hip out, knee out to the side. Inhale, come back to the centre. Breathing out. That knee opens out to the side. Inhale to the centre. We'll do one more. Opening that knee out to the side. And then coming back from there, you probably feel that on the hips. You can keep the knees slightly wider, maybe letting the big toes touch, and come back to child's pose. And bring your head down to the floor. And just take a few breaths from here. And hopefully that feels very nice on the hips. So from doing that hip opener, you might have sensations into your hips now. So just continue to breathe. And then coming back, hands underneath the shoulders, knees point forwards, toes point back. Tucking the toes under and press up again into your downward dog. Take a moment to just ease some weight back from here. And then allowing ourselves to bend the legs, start to walk the feet towards the hands, hands on the hips. And we'll slowly lift and come all the way to standing. Take a few breaths to just focus on feeling grounded. Have awareness to your navel centre, feeling your centre, that drawing in of a little bit of physical strength and feeling tapping into your inner strength. Let that send up into the chest, the heart, and feeling this sense of feeling open. You can allow your feet to come a bit closer together. Take a nice inhale, lifting up, palms together. Breathing out, hands to the chest, folding forward. Letting your hands come to the shins. Take a nice inhale to lift up. As you breathe out, lower down. So we can stay here. Our next option would be to take hold of your big toes. First two fingers underneath, thumb on top. We can take an inhale to look up. And breathing out, soften and fold, releasing the head. Stay there for a few moments. If you've got your fingers, you can use your big toe to press into them as you start to come forward. Last bit would be to slide the hands, release them and take them underneath the feet. Wrists are facing forward. Take an inhale to look up. And exhale, releasing forward. Let your hands slide back. If you took them under the feet, hands on the hips, it will lift up. And we'll come all the way to standing. Shoulders relaxing back and down. And take a moment just to feel again that inner strength of the navel. Feel it rooting down the legs. And feel the energy that rises from the navel. Feel it opening up, expanding into the chest, the heart centre. So we'll come to the front of the mat, and then we'll take our right foot back from here. So we're going to have the left foot forward. And if you've got a block as well, we'll turn it into, we're going to do forward fold, we'll turn it into a reverse trikonasana. So you can take hold of your brick if you're going to use it, and you can either put it on the outside, makes it stronger, or the inside, but we can change it once you're down. Hands on the hips. We're allowing ourselves to lift up with the arms and take a few breaths from here. If you need to take hands on the hips, if you've got back issues, take them back. If you're ready, you're going to slowly start to come forward, extending out with the arms, and just come halfway so you can focus on a little bit of strength as you draw that navel in. And then you can release the hand down. Just put the block to the side for a moment so you're into your intense forward bend stretch. So we're going to take our right hand now, is going to come either onto that leg, or it's going to come onto the foot, or it's going to come over the foot, or you can take it onto the inside. That makes it a little bit not intense. Your left hand is going to come to the hip as we twist towards that left side. And if you feel right in the arm, you can raise the arm, or you can keep it exactly where it is. So twist is good as well, a little bit of that strength that you're feeling in the navel area, and you have to find your balance point as well while you're in that posture. Release the hands, take a couple of forward folds, hands on the hips, lifting up, coming all the way up, and feet to the front. So we'll step it back the other way. Left foot is going to step back, and see where you wanted the block. If you like to put your hand on the inside, you can place it here, or on the outside, or you might be able to take the hands down. So just take it forward slightly first, so we're not going to bump the head. Hands either can stay on the hips, or we can raise the arms again. And inhale as you breathe out. Make sure you're not locking out the right leg. You start to come forward. Just come halfway first of all, and you can draw into the navel. Harness that strength then. And you can fold forward over that leg, making sure your shoulders stay nice and even. And then from here, it's going to be your reverse triangle. So your left hand's going to come either on the foot or the inside of that foot, or taking that hand across the foot. Right hand's on the hip, and we twist towards that right side. If it's an option, we can reach up that top arm. And you want to focus on your navel area while you're here. So feel all that lovely strength that you're harnessing in. Take your hands back. You can fold forward over that leg for a few breaths. And then the hands on the hip, we'll lift up. We'll come all the way to standing, taking your foot in from here. Take a few breaths, just be still for a moment. Separate the feet. And you might feel there's a lot of awareness in the navel areas. We've worked on some strength in that posture. You might notice as well, really nice opening in the back, and especially a little bit of space that you've created in your lower back from that posture from here. We can allow ourselves to take the legs nice and wide from here, so long side of mat, and we'll come forward into a forward fold. So feet forward or big toes in slightly. Hands on the hips, soften the knees, hinging forward. You can release the arms, or they might stay on the hips. Letting the crown of the head extend down towards the earth. The hands are down, walk them in line with the feet underneath the shoulders. Bring some weight forward, bend in the arms, maybe encourage your head to release further down. And then lifting up, hands on the hips, maybe finding halfway first. And then lifting all the way up. Heel toe the feet. And come back to standing. So we're going to do a little bit of a balance from here. It's going to be working with drawing a knee in, and we can start to even lengthen the leg as well if it did feel okay. So all the way onto your left foot, you're going to lift the right leg. It might come out to the front first. or you might be lifting the leg. And those of you who can, you can take the hand around that shin and take a moment just to be nice and lifted from here. So this might be enough for us where we are, or we can take the hands back to the hips. And the next option would be to lengthen that leg. Take a moment to keep drawing in. If you've got any back issues, then just keeping your hands on the hips will help to support it. If you do feel okay, you can allow your arms to lift up from here. And hands on the hips, bend the leg, take that foot to the floor, shake out the legs if you need to. All the way onto your right one, it's going to be the left one this time, so you can work it here. Or bending that leg, you can hold around that shin of that leg if it works. You can either keep it here or you can allow your hands to come to the hips. And just be careful of the back. If it's too much to the back, keep it here. Or if it's an option, you can allow that leg to lengthen. And again, if you've got back issues, hands down the hips. Or if it felt an option, you can allow yourself to extend up with the arms. So you can play back the feet, you can see what it feels like maybe to point the toes. And then bending the arms, hands on the hips, feet to the floor, and have a little shake out of the legs from here. So you're going to come to the front of the mat, you're going to come down. So do it for a nice inhale to lift up, raise the arms. You can look up if it's an option. Soften the knees, breathing out, starting to come forward, nice heavy head. You're going to allow yourself to bend the legs, come down to the floor and just take a few breaths into child's posture from here. Nice long slow breaths. And then lifting up, we're going to either do a pigeon posture, or if you want to go on the back and do the eye of the needle pose, I'll show you both as well. So your pigeon posture would be, you could start from downward dog. If you're doing lying down one, you're going to lift up the right leg. Bend that right leg, bringing it through, so knee in front of the wrist. And then bring it down. Extend that leg out. The closer you bring in, you can even sit on that foot if that's better for you, or start to wriggle that foot out. And if you're very familiar with this posture, you can always extend that leg further forward. Just make sure, glance down, make sure that that leg is straight. You can stay here or you can fold forward. If you're doing it on the back, then you're going to take the right foot across, either hand on the knee or allowing hands to be behind the thigh, or taking the hands around the shin. Make sure your chin is tucked in. And wherever you are, just holding it there, a few lovely breaths. And then nice and slowly releasing, coming up. If you was doing it from the floor, then you can either press back into downward dog or just roll to the side and then bring yourself back up. If you're on your back lying down, just have a couple of moments just to stretch out from here. And then we'll all do the left side. So whatever variation you're working with, either in the kind of seated position or the lying down one, just make sure you glance around at that back leg, make sure it's in a nice lengthened line. And then again, you can start to go forward. You have got props and that if you want to support, use whatever you've got to hand. Just take a few nice easy breaths. And then if you're in downward dog, hands underneath your shoulders, you can tuck the toes, if it did work, press back to downward dog for a few breaths. And then coming back down to the floor. Now we're going to lie yourself onto the sides, and you might like to have your belt handy as well from here. You can pad underneath your hips if you need to. So you can let yourself lie down on that left side first of all. And you can support the leg either extending out the arm or hand in front or supporting behind the head. You can extend out with the legs and drawing in with the navel from here. You can take a moment to lift that top leg and allow the bottom leg to join the top. You want to focus on drawing in with the navel. and then lower back down. Again, top leg lifts, bottom leg lifts to meet it, draw in with the navel, and then slowly lower down. We'll do one more, so lifting that leg, bottom leg starts to meet it. Take a few moments just to hold it here, and it's a really, really good one to strengthen the core. It's good as well for the muscles around the hips and the lower back, and then taking it all the way down. So from here, we're going to allow that leg to bend, and you can either grab hold of your big toe or your ankle, and we'll do a little bit of work straightening the leg. So if you're doing your belt, you can hook it around the ball of the foot and allowing that leg to lengthen. You still want to focus on drawing in with that navel, so you still have to do it. If I went all soft like that, then I completely flop out of that movement. So I have to press out with that extended leg. I have to draw in with that navel. Leg hasn't got to be straight, it might be bent. And the options are to bend, if you want to, the top arm so that leg comes a little bit closer towards you. Take a few breaths, and it might not be straight, you know, for some of us, we might be here, we might be lower down. We want to really try and focus on today this lovely navel and creating strength from there. And then slowly release. You can take that leg back. You can allow yourself to roll to the side, come to the side and do the other side. So I'll just completely swap over so that you can still see me, and we are doing the other side. So getting your set up again, take a moment just to make sure you're in a nice straight line. Pads your hips if it feels too uncomfortable in this position. And then we'll start off first of all, allowing your top leg to lift. You want to draw into navel. If it's an option, then let your bottom leg lift. And take a moment to feel that really nice strength. And then lower both legs. We'll do that 2 more times. Top leg lifts. Bottom leg lifts to meet it. Draw in with the navel. And then lower back down. We'll do last one. Top leg lifts. Bottom leg meets it. Draw in with the navel. Feel that really nice strength. And then lower down. So do the next bit now. So you can use your belt again. You're going to bend into that knee. And you can either take hold of the ankle, the foot. You can use your belt if it did work. And you want to think about still drawing into the navel. You can start to slowly allow that top leg to lengthen. And think about what you need to do so you don't completely wobble forward and you don't completely wobble back. So it is very, very good. It is very good on the core, this one. Lots of leg work, lots of hip work. Just take a few nice easy breaths. You can always bend the leg if it felt an option. There's probably one side that feels very different to the other. For this side feels a lot more open to me than the other side. And then slowly release, hand down, slowly take that leg back. Move your belt to the side, just roll over. And we'll take a nice back bend from here, that works out quite nice. Hands underneath the shoulders, or take them slightly forward if you want to do your Sphinx instead. And inhale, lift up head, lift up chest. If it's an option, taking that lovely stretch into either Cobra or Sphinx. And feel that stretch of the front of the body. A nice space in your back bend, in your back. And then slowly lower back down. You're going to press back to the all fours. And then sink back into your child's posture. So you're going to allow ourselves to come back to the all fours. We're going to allow ourselves to extend your right leg out behind you. Left leg, you're going to come up onto the knee. You're going to point your toes back. You're going to plant that opposite foot on the floor. Hand on the hip. You can pad to the knee if you need to. If that's enough, stay in here. Or allowing that arm to lift. You're going to focus on drawing in with that navel. If you want to turn it into a side bend stretch as well, you can take that arm up and over and feeling a sense of strength around your core while you're here. And then bend in. Be careful of that knee. Bring it back. Come back to the all fours. Left leg is going to extend. So you're right leg's going to come out and I'm going to be facing the back of you. You're going to take your top hand onto the hip. You're going to draw into navel. If that's enough, holding it here or lifting the arm. Or if it's an option, taking that arm up and over. Feel as well that sense of strength that's needed in that posture. And then coming back from here, bringing your hands back, bringing the knee back, coming back to the floor from here. Take a few breaths into your child's posture. And then allowing yourself to lift up again. So if it felt an option, we can do the same thing that we did before. Which way am I going to be facing you? It's that way. Or allowing yourself to come to plank pose. You can take some weight back. You can drop your feet over towards the opposite side. You can either take your hand, the hand stays where it is. You can either take your foot to the front, hand on the hip. You can lift up if that's an option, or reaching up, or alternatively you might be stacking your feet one on top of the other, and you want to focus on drawing in with that navel. If you've got the feet stacked, pressing out the feet. If you've got the foot down, you use that as a little bit of a support from here. And take a few really nice breaths. And then coming back to your hands and the nose. So remember, you've got that first option where we drop, turn the knee and take the foot out, or come into this option. So you might be able to come to a nice plank posture. Bring some weight back towards your heels, then you're dropping your feet over towards, it'll be the right side, and either let that foot naturally be where it's landed, hand on the hip, or you can plant it in front of you, or you can stack up the feet. And you want to think about that same movement like you had when we was lying on the side, that drawing in with the navel. If there was an option, the arm can lift. Take a few nice breaths. And then taking that hands back, coming back to the centre, knees to the floor, and take a moment to sink back into child's posture. And just maybe feeling that challenge of the posture, a bit of warmth that you've created, a little bit of strength in your abdomen. And then allowing yourself to lift up. If you can sit on the heels, continue to stay on the heels. If it doesn't feel an option, cross the legs or even lengthen them out. Just take the arms, interlock the fingers behind you, and take a moment just to find a canter posture from what we've done with that side plank pose, by letting the chest open, shoulders moving back. Just take a couple of breaths from here. And then nice and slowly releasing, just dropping the knees to one side and roll yourself down to the floor. Hug your knees in, have a little bit of a rock from side to side. Taking the feet as wide as the mat, just allow the arms to spread out and just drop your knees to right side, head to the left, starting to just come into a twist. And then coming back to the centre and then breathing out, knees to the left, head to the right. Staying there just for a moment, so just feel your hips releasing, your spine releasing. And then come back to the centre. You can step the feet in a bit closer, arms down by the sides of the body. You can either keep the legs bent if you're feeling it around the back right now, or allowing your legs to lengthen out. And just take a moment to really encourage your back to gently soften and release down towards the earth. So feel it just spreading. Feel around your shoulder blades, let them just feel spread and open. Just feeling you're letting all that energy that you've harnessed around your solar plexus, around your navel area, feeling it just extending out. In a way that you can visualise this energy sending out, it's quite nice to think about as sunshine, very bright sunshine, and this ball of heat, this ball of energy. And then thinking about the sun rays that extend out from the sunshine or extending out from the light. And you might be feeling it moving down to the hips and the legs and the feet. And invite that energy to move across your chest, expanding into all those spaces. Feeling it moving across the shoulders, down into the arms, even down into every finger. First, second, third, fourth, and your thumb. Feel it even moving up to the neck, right out through the crown of the head. Just feel that you've used that visualization, the practice of the breath today to invite more energy into the body, which also then has a positive effect on the mind. Let your legs bend, draw the knees in towards the chest, just taking that little rock from side to side. And then roll over onto the right side of the body, extend the bottom arm out. Just stay here just for a moment. And just feel that nice transition as you come to the sides of the body. And then slowly start to press yourself all the way up. Come to an easy seat. And just pause for a moment. Let your palms face up. And you might visualise, take a little bit of visualisation that you feel the energy generating out through your hands, fingers, palm of the hands. Maybe even feeling you've got two lights. You can visualise the colour yellow as yellow works with the solar plexus. So two, one in each hand, a ball of very, very bright yellow colour that's all filled with energy. Just feel it all around the hands as you take that weight in. And then allowing yourself to slowly let the arms start to move up towards the sky. Imagine still that you was keeping hold of those really bright yellow lights. Feel it expanding out. Take your awareness to the navel centre as well and feel it just expanding out through the hands. And letting yourself just take your palms together above the head. Moving your hands in towards your chest. Taking a very soft bow down with the head towards the hands. Feel this softening, this calmness, this peace in the heart centre. Let the eyes blink open and then slowly lift your head, lift your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for doing the class with me today. And I look forward to hearing or seeing from you. Take it easy.